You know, we had the Peach Festival crew on the plaza this morning.
Yes.
And they are having one of their biggest events ever after having it canceled last year.
Right.
So fingers crossed do you need to bring an umbrella?
Yeah, that explains though why they were kind of wild.
They were hyped.
Yeah,
it was all the sugar from those peaches.
There you go. But yeah, we are going to have some showers and thunderstorms. Not a washout at all here this weekend, but we will have that chance for some rain hanging around. A few showers out there today. Nothing right now to slow you down as we look at Denton. Those low clouds though have rolled into the area. They're kind of hanging around through the morning. They may thin out a little bit more this afternoon. 82 degrees in Denton right now, feeling like it's 87 out there right now. Coming back over to Cedar Hill, those lower clouds trying to thin out some. 81 right now, feeling like it's 85. So it really hadn't been a bad morning, but we are watching those showers on radar. Most of that has been south of I-20, heading out a little farther east from Canton over toward Terrell right now. A few showers, but I think the better chances will be in our southern counties from Hillsborough heading over toward Corsicana now, starting to see some light to some pockets of some moderate rain out there. So this is what we're going to be dealing with here over the next couple of hours with those showers, maybe an embedded thunderstorm or two, mainly south of I-20 as we go through the rest of today. You see it's picking up a little bit in our eastern counties, getting out into East Texas, out toward Tyler and Longview, down toward Palestine and Athens here late this morning. So we'll have the scattered showers around, the better chances, about a 30-40% coverage south of Dallas and Fort Worth. The farther north we go, we see those rain chances starting to taper off. So some isolated showers out there from time to time. So just keep that in mind if you have some outdoor plans, maybe heading out to the Peach Festival in Weatherford. We'll have highs today only in the upper 80s, maybe close to 90 in a few places, but the cloud cover and that slight chance for a few showers is going to help hold temperatures in check just a little bit. But as we get into the weekend, it will be a steamy start to the weekend tomorrow. And then a cold front, yes, a rare July cold front we're going to be talking about. That arrives late Saturday going into Saturday night. And then we will see some increasing rain chances as we head on into Sunday. So we'll talk more in detail about that and what you can expect for the rest of the weekend coming up. But now, Kara, back to you.